Good evening. All right. How's everyone doing? Sign Lizard daughter doing all right?
Doing all right here.
Doing good.
Excellent, excellent. I think we're ready tonight for part two of the Murkmire Malevolence. For those of you tuning in tonight, if you haven't watched before, welcome into our channel. We are the Master of Dungeons. I'm the Master of Dungeons. We have Design Lizard playing with us tonight, as well as Otter. Dantishin will be in a little bit later. He has a family thing that he's taking care of. And we'll do some fun in-game stuff until he's able to get and join with us in a little while. But for those of you that don't know, we are running Keys from the Golden Vault, the newest D&D hardcover adventure anthology from Wizards of the Coast. We are also playing Adventures League rules. For those of you that aren't sure what Adventures League is the organized play system for Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast. It allows you to create your character with the Adventures League rules, and it's portable. You can take your characters to different places that run Adventures League games. With Adventures League rules like conventions, your local game store, online events, things like that, and play the same character throughout, level up, and get rewards and such. And tonight, last week, we went ahead and started the very first adventure, which is called the Murkmire Malevolence. And tonight, we're going to play the second part. For just a little bit of a recap, the characters were approached. The characters actually work for an organization called the Golden Vault, which actually does good things that the people that are in charge of the law and such like that might not be able to do. But they're always looking to right wrongs and things like that. For a modern idea of it, think of Robin Hood or something like that. Except this time, they don't want their names to be known. They want to be as stealthy as possible and try to do all this without any knowledge of them being the ones that perform these heists. The characters were approached by a halfling with a mission for them to meet a Dr. Cassie Dennell. After meeting with her, they found out that she was a former professor at Waterdeep University. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, we are setting our Keys from the Golden Vault adventures. In the book, you can set them in any locale you want in the different worlds. Since we are playing Adventures League, we went ahead and set them in the City of Splendors of Waterdeep along the Sword Coast. So some of the place names in the book were kind of altering a little bit. So Dr. Dennell is a former professor at the Waterdeep University, and she's also a museum enthusiast. And she explained to the characters that there's a specific stone in the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History, and it's actually not a stone but an egg of an eldritch horror. And no one at the museum, no one at the university believes her. And she's tried and tried again. And so finally she turned to the Golden Vault, and the Golden Vault contacted the characters with one of their first missions for them to go to a gala, which they did last week, and kind of scout and get a little reconnaissance of the museum itself. And they have finished doing all of that, and they are now back at their headquarters, as it were, at the Troll Skull Manor and Troll Skull Alley in Waterdeep. As you return, first of all, let's go ahead, before we get into the adventure, let's go ahead and reintroduce our characters so that the viewers can be reminded of who everyone is playing. So why don't we go ahead and start with Stinkfoot? Go ahead.
Stinkfoot is a Swerfneblin Deep Gnome Wizard.
All right, and then let's go ahead and go with Reginald.
Hey everybody, I will be playing Reginald, the Herongon or Rabbit Folk Ranger.
All right, and of course, when Dantishin joins us, he is playing a Deep Gnome as well. He is our rogue, and his name is Snaps McCracken. So Snaps will be joining us here a little bit later. All right, so everyone, first go ahead. If you don't have it from last week, go ahead and start the game with inspiration. I like to start those out, all the characters out with that.
I need to remember that we get those at the start of session.
It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing.
Keep in mind that some DMs, one of the things that we'll do also during our streams for the viewers is that if you're new to D&D or new to wanting to be a DM or anything of that nature, what we'll do is we'll kind of pause here and there to discuss certain rules and things like that if you're not aware of what they are. With inspiration, what inspiration is it allows you to spend your inspiration. You can only have one piece of inspiration at a time. You can spend your inspiration before you make a D20 roll, a die 20 roll, and that will give you advantage on the check. That means you roll 2 die 20 instead of 1, and you take the higher of the 2 for your result. I know some DMs use it kind of as a re-roll for like a house rule, but since we're using the Adventurers League, we're playing the rules as written, which is what the Adventurers League rules are, and so that will allow our players to, before they make a die 20 roll, spend their inspiration for that. All right, are we ready to get started?
I'm ready to dive in.
All right. So you've finished scouting the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History and have a fairly good idea of the layout. You do have a rough map that was given to you by Dr. Cassie Donnell, and you should find that in your journals in Roll 20 under your player handouts. Of course, it was a fairly rough map. It did have a few of her handwritten notes all across the different areas. You did discover that there's obviously the first floor, second floor. You didn't have a chance to really get into the basement, but you know the basement is there. And you really didn't have a chance to get into the attic, but from scouting some of the buildings around the outside before getting into the gala, scouting the outside of the building before the time for the gala came, you do know that there's an attic window up there. And then when the gala came about, you were able to, kind of make your way through the different areas, the different displays, making your way up to the second floor, kind of discovering where the offices were, where the privies were on the second floor as well. So you've headed back to Troll Skull Alley to the manor, where your patron, who is also a friend of the Golden Vault, but not necessarily a member of the Golden Vault, is one Braden Hawks, a human private investigator that works around Waterdeep and has works out of the Troll Skull Manor there and the small tavern that is attached to it called Lift Spirits, as Lift is the name of the ghost that also inhabits the tavern and the manor. As you get back from scouting, you know that you need to get back. The gala's finished up at 8 o'clock, and that you know that around you want to get back and kind of plan your heist before you put it into motion. So making your way back to Troll Skull Alley, you go ahead and enter in to the Lift Spirits, and you see Braden behind the bar, kind of tending bar and such like that, and he kind of nods to you, and he looks over, and he has one of the other employees come over and take over the bar, and he kind of walks over and says, well, I got news that Snaps was picked up or something. I guess he went to one of the bazaars and was trying to perhaps pilfer some extra equipment or something. We're going to handle. We're going to see if we can't get him to get in contact with you and help you once you're started. However, I've told that there's a person that is going to come in to help you out that is fairly knowledgeable about many of the happenings in Waterdeep, and is also a friend of the Golden Vault as well. And he's waiting upstairs in the attic. You can use that to do whatever business you need to take care of, Braden says. And, with a knowing look, not wanting to know what you're doing, but at the same time, leaving you to your privacy. And of course, points to the stairs for you to head up to the attic.
Let's go.
All right, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead and wander upstairs to the attic.
Okay. Making your way up there, you do get up to the attic, passing the rooms that you have in the manor yourself, where you have your own personal belongings and such. And making your way up to the attic, you do see a couple of lanterns sitting about, and kicking back, kind of looking through the Waterdeep Wazoo, the daily broadsheet, talking about the news and such around Waterdeep. You see the figure of a drow male. With his boots kicked up on a table, a fairly large table, where you would easily be able to roll out your map and kind of plan your heist. And seeing you enter, the drow kind of like, oh, and he kind of folds the wazoo back up and sets it down, and he stands up and he bows to you all. He's about maybe close to 6 foot, not necessarily 6 foot tall. Of course, long white hair. You see the pallor, the grayish purple of the drow skin, and of course, he does have the telltale red eyes. He's dressed pretty much in leathers, blacks and browns, things like that. He does have a hand crossbow on his hip and a rapier and short sword, and he notices more than a few daggers tucked away in all of his different equipment. He says, greetings, friend. I believe that I have been sent as a quick replacement until the vault has gotten snaps out of his little predicament. My name is Morn. And he kind of bows to you.
It's nice to meet a fellow Underdarkian.
And he says that indeed it is welcome to see one of those from below. And he says that to you in Undercommon, of course.
I kind of look back and forth. And,
Apologies.
you know...
Oh. And he kind of bows to the Heron. I will refrain from speaking languages that others might not understand. That way we can better communicate. So, what are we doing? He says.
I'm going to pull the map of the museum out of the bag of holding and put it down onto, if there's a table, the table, if not the floor.
Oh yes, there's a large table, as I mentioned, one large you can roll the map out,
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll roll the map out on that table.
And very practiced, as if he's done this before. You do see Morn reach into his pouch at his hip, and he pulls out some small stones and kind of sets them in the corner of each of the four corners of the map, so it lays flat out. And he says, the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History. I've visited there a few times. Yes. So what are we taking? He kind of grins, and you see a little impish grin across the face of the drow.
Are you familiar with the second floor gemstone wing? The heavily guarded second floor gemstone wing?
Barely. I've been there once or twice. There's not been a place that I've infiltrated before, but working with the Golden Vault, I'm sure that you've done more than enough reconnaissance.
So the vault has sent us to recover what the museum seems to think is a stone, and the vault's patron seems to think it's a egg that's going to hatch at midnight tonight and destroy the world. So no pressure.
Oh, he kind of chuckles and shakes his head a bit. Says, "All right, well, I could give you a bit of advice. I have infiltrated the museum once, but I did not go past the entrance spot, so I was the lookout. But the two access points that I would find the easiest to infiltrate would be either the basement or through the skylight in the attic. Have you already discussed or thought about plans to infiltrate?
Do either of you have a piece of charcoal?
I have chalk.
Yes. I have chalk and charcoal, Mort says.
Can I borrow either or? Charcoal would work for the map.
Then he goes ahead and pulls out some charcoal for you.
I will take a minute or two and, using lines and dashes mark on the map each of the hidden rooms that we discovered, the ventilation shafts, and jot the notes from snaps before they were caught on the ceiling window fixture, and anything else we found along the way of... Well, anything also, I found along the way of interesting things to grab.
That tunnel that led out to the copse of trees a ways away from the museum as well.
Yep, I'll make sure to add that in there.
Interesting. Morn says, what are these secret rooms here near these displays?
They seem to be cleaning rooms. They house mostly cleaning materials, but the door does go from one side to the other. So in a pinch, it could help to cut line of sight or to get out of sight for a minute.
Wow. Very good, very good. And this, he kind of points to the ventilation shaft that you found between the Allosaurus display and the gemstone room itself. Is that large enough for us to fit through?
It would be interesting to get the vents off the wall, but if we could, we should be able to fit through.
Do you remember how high off the ground the vents were?
I believe about 10 foot.
They kind of looks around, and of course, realizing, of course, he does have a deep gnome with him and a heron gun. He's like, well, I suppose if need be, you could, one of you or both of you could stand upon our shoulders if need be. But of course, I do have climber's kit and other things. We just probably don't want to mar anything inside the museum as well. If we can get in and get out without anyone knowing. Other than, of course, when they find that the egg or the stone egg, whatever it is gone. But I'm sure that if what the contact says is true, if it indeed is, all will be taken care of. Of course, no one should know that we are the ones that took it, of course.
So if we can get the vent off the wall, I shouldn't have any issue getting up into it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I have my burglar's pack and a few other things ready to go. So what is our plan? To enter into the basement and then make our way up through the area?
I was thinking basement. Have you noticed in your attempt, the guards all have these neat little badges that unlock doors?
I have. I was told of those, but again, as I mentioned, the one time that I infiltrated the establishment, I was the lookout, of course.
Yeah, love to get my hands on one of those.
Well, unless there's anything else specific that your instructions you have for me, I'm ready to go when you are.
Do we have an exit plan? Do we want to proceed out the way we came in, or utilize the roof for its quick access from the gem display?
I do remember scouting the area and that the access to the attic where the skylight is a stairwell that is right beside the privies.
Mm-hmm.
So
which
that
are
does
right outside the gem enclosure.
Yes, that does sound like a very sound plan.
Sadly, Snap snuck up there and looked around, and the rest of us didn't. So
that is true.
I don't know. I don't know what else up there other than some junk and some storage that he indicated. But he also seemed to think that might be a viable. Whatever he saw didn't lead him to believe we couldn't use that as our primary or backup escape.
Mm-hmm. So kind of the idea from the DM's perspective now is kind of infiltrating in through the basement, making your way up, trying to, of course, find these badges that the guards have to be able to bypass the locks and any alarms that are there as well. and then making your way up to the second floor, trying to get into the room itself via the vent. Once you're inside the gemstone wing, find a way to get the stone from its pedestal, and then get back out and make your way around to the attic, up to the attic, and escape through the skylight. And that's the general plan right now, correct?
Plan A.
All right. And plan B is just wing it, right?
Don't get
Plan
caught.
B
Is plan B.
is... What?
Plan B is don't get caught.
Yep.
Yes, for our viewers also, since we are playing in Waterdeep, I did go through and bring some handouts into our Roll20, which is the VTT we're using, and gave them a few of the handouts from the Waterdeep Dragon Heist adventures and things of that, things along those lines. And they do have the code legal. They were a little shocked reading some of the code legal, and I said, "Well, hey, they're only crimes if you get caught, so just be careful." All right, so when you're ready, let me know, and we'll go ahead and move everyone back over to the museum map. We did have Explorer mode on, so some of those areas are still going to be grayed out, and you won't be able to see what's in there. But you will still be able to see where you've been, at least to remind you. A couple of notes to remind if in case you might not remember, you did find a stone, a rather large stone in one of the displays. That looked to be about the same size and weight as the Murkmire stone.
Oh yeah, the skull and the sandbag trick from that movie.
Yeah, that one place.
There was also
All right, so-
a room with some very interesting weapons up on the wall.
That is true too. Yes,
Some cash tills laying around with money in them. There's
that is true. There were some tills around on the first floor near the two shops. There was a till in the cafe upstairs, and in some of the displays down below. There were, or up above, I should say, there were some of the items of which you speak. A few very fine weapons. So give me a couple moments here. I'm going to go ahead and take all of our nobles off of the map.
while you're setting up the map, we
Sure.
should decide if we're here to pull off the heist and get the heck out, or if we're gonna do some sightseeing, shoplifting. The vault is a benevolent, but maybe gray side of the law organization. They tasked us with grabbing this egg. I don't know how they would feel about us grabbing weapons, cash tills. They don't have to know about it. They may read about it in the Waterdeep Gazette. But obviously, the longer we're in there, the more exposure we risk after we learn how to talk. So we should probably figure out, like, grab the egg and go, grab the egg and then decide, or try to get as much as we can no matter what. Our rogue isn't here, so
Morgan kind of goes.
said our rogue isn't here, the one who got caught and got pinched.
We do appreciate your assistance greatly.
Of course.
And I understand common may not be your first tongue. Some of the pronunciations can be weird at times.
Oh no,
But-
of course it actually is my first.
I was
Yes.
talking to Stinkfoot
Oh.
to go off of his previous statement.
He kind of chuckles a bit when Morn says that. Which, you might find surprising, but common is Morn's native tongue.
Oh, well, that is good to know. But to answer your question, I feel our first priority should be the stone, the egg, the item, whatever.
Yes.
But if it goes smoothly and there's a little extra time or something's on the way, if all's going well after the stone is grabbed, what happens, happens.
Okay. We'll deal with the vault after, should they not like our extracurriculars.
My dad always used to say most of the history museums didn't really come across a lot of this in the right way, so if they can take it, so can we.
Roger.
Also, keep in mind you do. Go ahead. My fault, Stinkfoot. Go ahead.
I was just asking for positioned outside the basement. I'm trying to orient myself to the map.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put you.
Oh yeah, I see it. I see it.
Go to the top. Keep in mind that you do know that Professor Donnell did mention to you that there are alarms that are set after close.
Mm-hmm.
It only, I believe, it lasts for. I think it's 10 minutes. You can cast it as a spell if you want. Being that you're a wizard, though, if you want to ritually cast it, it will last for 10 minutes. If you want to cast Detect Magic, once you can do it beforehand or once you enter into the basement. As you can get into the basement, you'll just have to figure out a way to pick the lock of the door, because if you recall, you did find a small door outside, but it kind of had a ladder going down. So if you come up that tunnel, if that's the way you're planning on going in, you can either ritually cast it before you start down the tunnel to the Museum of Natural History, or you can wait until you actually get into the basement itself to do so. Or you can wait until you get right outside the door that needs to be picked to get in.
Or multiple iterations of that.
Mm-hmm.
For folks that don't know, ritual casting doesn't take up a spell slot. It just takes up 10 minutes of hanging around somewhere you're not supposed to be. So,
yep, 10 minutes plus the casting time of the spell. And wizards don't have to have the spell prepared. They just have to have it in their spell book.
Righto. What do you think, Reginald? Drop it now? See how far we get along in 10 minutes?
Sounds like a
That would
plan.
be cool. All right, I will, I do... Roll20 gives abbreviated descriptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so I will sit down, my spell book, concentrate hard on my spell book, kind of zone out, and for 10 minutes.
Snaps over here for now. And when Snaps is out of his predicament and able to join the crew.
All right.
While Stinkfoot is ritually casting this spell, I'm going to try and look inconspicuous and blend in.
Okay. Well, you would have been coming through the tunnel that actually heads north, so you're not actually outside of the actual building itself. You're actually kind of coming up through the tunnel at the moment, coming from Cosby's a ways away.
Then I'm not worried about it.
All right. But you can definitely to start to stealth up if you want to make your way there. So let's go ahead. After you go ahead and right before you get to the thing there, you can finish, wait there and cast your Detect Magic with your ritual. And then let's go ahead and make a group stealth check. For those of you that might be new to D&D, a group stealth check is everyone makes a stealth check. And as long as at least half of the group hits a certain number, it's considered a success. In this case, since there's only 3 of them, 2 of them have to succeed on the stealth check in order to pass the check. And we'll make the check for Morn.
Come on, Morn.
No whammies. Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Morn
He knows
was a
what
natural.
he's doing.
He seems to know what he's doing, at least. And he's going to piggyback off that fun roll, and he's going to go ahead and be able to get up here and fairly easily pick the door. Pick the lock to the door. And whispers, after you.
I nudge Reginald and say, see, I told you we had a rogue.
I will go stick my head in the back door while I wait for Stinkfoot to finish up the ritual cast, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. I'm not going to go far in, but enough where I can take a quick peek in the room.
Yeah, so looking in the room itself, down here, since the first time you've been in the basement, objects, you look about and you see boxes and crates piled here in groups. kind of normal. You do notice the which you scouted before, the enormous warehouse doors take up much of the basement's northern wall, and you do notice all about the room. There is boxes and crates here, over here as well, and down in the corner also. And it seems to be very quiet, of course.
Are there any lights in here, or do I need to use a spell or a cantrip?
You'll probably have to use a cantrip. As this room right here, there are no lights currently lit in the area.
Okay. Well, as the member of the group without night vision, I'm going to take a coin out of my pocket and use the light cantrip on it so I can let light out from between my fingers to illuminate parts of the room. So I can take a look around.
Sure. Just to clarify, sorry, I saw in chat, Reggie Cuts, actually, the keys from the Golden Vault can be set in different settings for the in the book itself. For the purposes of our running of the adventures, we're setting any of them that can be, we're setting them in Waterdeep. So you can, if you run, you can set them wherever you'd like. We just thought it would be really fun to play in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
All right, so Reginald, I think you have some light on. Yeah, you do have. You are shedding bright light for 20 feet and dim light for another 20 feet outwards. So if you want to start heading in, you can do so and start looking about.
I would count out roughly until I have 2 minutes before Stinkfoot is done outside, before I would move into the room. So I'd hang out and just kind of keep an eye. And once I know the time is getting close, I would head and start exploring the room to see if there's anything of interest I can root around in that might help us.
Okay. And Morn's going to go ahead and step in as well. Stink, your ritual is finished. If you'd like to go ahead and come on into the basement.
I would love to. There's the basement.
And since you're planning on heading out the attic, Morn does close the door and relocks it from the inside.
Beautiful. Is there anything I can find in the room that might be a list of guards who may be on duty? Something that may tell me how many people we could be expecting upstairs?
If you want, you can do an investigation check if you want to go to certain areas of the basement here and check the different crates and all of the boxes and things of that nature. You do notice that there are crates and such piled everywhere. You see, stop right there, Reginald, if you would. As you're going to start to look around this area, Morn kind of starts wandering over in this part as well. Something odd happens as one of the chests nearby animates.
Well,
Already?
It is initiative. Please select your token and roll initiative.
we
Oops.
I really like 9s tonight.
Did mine go? Oh, mine went. For anyone watching, I'm experimenting with the lovely Roll20 companion app. Wasn't so slick last time I used it, but so far it's nice. Have my character sheet on my phone and make rolls.
But it might not be working in that situation because it did not go through because it didn't have your token selected.
That would be funny. Actually, I can't.
Yeah, so go ahead and just use the interface for tonight. We'll do some experimenting with the app later on. And then you can go ahead and switch it back to your 16 that you initially rolled. You can actually go into the turn order and change it yourself.
But I can't resort it, right? I think you have to.
Yeah, I'll sort that afterwards. Yeah, not a problem. So Morn, Reginald, Mimic, and Stink are in there. We will sort that descending. And the first to react as the chest starts to move is Stink.
Wondrous. I will step back a tad. She's moving all around. Let me see. I will move. It's not letting me move my token. I would move back 2 squares and probably drop mage armor on myself.
Okay. Back up 2 squares, you said?
Back up 2 squares, yeah.
So that will bring your armor class up to a instead of 12 up to 13 plus your dex modifier.
Dex modifier is 2.
So up to a 15. So it gives you 3 extra points of armor class. Excellent. Anything else? Any bonus actions, or are you finished moving?
I think I'm finished moving, and I don't have any bonus actions.
Okay. Next in line would be Morn. Morn is going to quickly pull out his hand crossbow. Kind of move, fire from where he's at first. And fire his hand crossbow at the creature. Missing with a 9. But he's going to take his other hand and draw out one of his short swords and kind of move over in this direction. Try to take some heat from Reginald. And he will end his turn, and Reginald, you're up.
Ooh-wee. I am going to take a couple steps back. I realize I am within its threatened range.
Yeah, keep in mind, however, if you do step back, it has the opportunity to make an attack against you for leaving its range. So it could use its reaction to try to attack you.
Oh, hold on. Well, I guess for now, I will take out my short sword and try and give it a whack.
All right. An AC of 15 will indeed hit.
For a 6.
All right. It will take 6 hit points. However, give me one moment here. You do notice as you hit it that the chest or whatever this creature is seems to have some sort of adhesive goo around the outside of it, like it's kind of the outside skin is coated in this adhesive goo, and your short sword sticks to the creature.
Well,
so if you wish, you can go ahead and try to make a strength check to pull the sword off of the creature, or you could draw another weapon and attack next turn.
Good to know.
All right. Anything else for Reginald?
I think that's all I got for right now.
All right. The creature is up, and you were the first one to move towards it, Reginald, but it does have 2 creatures near it. So what it's going to do is it's going to try to not really. It's just we're just gonna go with randomness here, as you want to bring the chaos, as you say. So 1-2 is going to attack you. 3-4 it will attack Morn. 3-4 it will attack Morn with its pseudopod. hitting an AC of 20, which will hit Morn, doing a bit of damage to him. Oops. There we go. And that's the creature's turn. It's the top of round 2. Stink, you're up.
Alrighty. I am going to introduce the chat. Actually, do I have to step? I don't want to tag my friend Reginald. And now I can move my character again. So I'm going to move back a little bit more. I'm going to introduce the chest to my friend Firebolt.
You indeed will. AC of 20 will definitely hit the creature. It does, of course, do damage to it, but there's nothing really flammable of that creature itself that's going to catch fire. So you do see Morn kind of wince a bit in the flash of the fireball because there are flammable things around here. And of course, when he did get hit, he kind of hissed and kind of held back any sort of yelp from being hit. Any more movement, Stink?
No more movement.
All right. Morn will go ahead and pull out his other short sword as he drops his hand crossbow to the ground and he swings with his first short sword, missing, and then his offhand as a bonus action will swing with the short sword again, missing as well. As you can see, he's just got a big, just kind of reaches up with the sword in his hand and kind of rubs onto his chest and shoulder where the pseudopod hit him the last time. Reginald.
Well, I'm going to let go of my short sword for starters.
Okay.
And I am going to actually use a racial ability here.
Okay.
For Rabbit Hop.
Excellent.
As a bonus action, I can jump a number of feet equal to 5 times my proficiency bonus, which is a 2, without provoking opportunity attacks.
Perfect.
So I can jump 10 feet back to here. And from there, I would like to pull out my longbow and try and lob something I'm not worried about getting stuck in it.
To help out a little bit too, keep in mind, since you're not using a shield, you have your longbow, because you are medium Harengon, right? We discussed that. You're medium. Since your longbow is a two-handed weapon, you only have to have 2 hands to fire it. You can hold it in one hand, and then of course pull out your sword and fight. So you can consider to have your longbow already out if you want to have some other free object interaction. So yeah, go ahead and fire away.
Okay, firing away. Does a 12 hit?
Will hit the mimic on the numbers as you see it stick into its. Obviously, it looks like a chest, but it's of course made of flesh. For 4 piercing, excellent.
For 4 piercing.
All right. And the mimic is up. And of course, the only thing near it is Morn. However, Morn has not damaged it. It does not view Morn necessarily as a threat, as his weapons had missed. However, Reginald and Stink have both hit it. So it's going to try to move in your directions.
Can I actually throw something in there real quick?
What's that?
I have actually now hit something for the first time, which allows me to trigger a class ability.
Okay.
I would like to call forth on my mystical bond of nature for favored foe.
Well, you won't get that, actually, I don't believe, until... I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead and pop the ability up for me. I'm sorry, my apologies.
Yeah, I think this is the first level thing for Rogue.
Yeah. So that actually was when you can mark it. So before your turn, we'll go ahead and retro back and let you finish that on your turn. Sure.
Oh, okay. So I can add a D4 then? Is that what that is?
Cool. Yeah.
Oh boy.
And you can mark that as your favorite foe. So let me go ahead and put that token marker on there.
And a D4. That brings us up to 7. I'll take it.
Excellent.
Lovely.
Favored foe. So I'll do some more damage. Excellent. And then again, the creature is going to move. It does not view Morn as a threat, so it's going to kind of move down here, moving towards Reginald. But as it does, Morn will be able to take an opportunity attack with his short sword, and he still misses again. And then the creature will tilt to swing at Reginald with its pseudopod, doing 6 points of damage.
Yeah, that'll hit. Ow.
And you can see as it's kind of moved towards you, it's kind of taken away the shape it had as a crate, and it's kind of starting to move towards you more of like a blob or an ooze of some sort. So since it's not in object form, you're not subject to its adhesive trait, and you do see as it gets closer your short sword back here on the ground. So that's the top of round 2. Stink, you're up.
All right, I can get around here without provoking, right?
Yeah, if you want to move around these crates up to the north.
15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, I should have looked at my spell before I did that. 60 feet.
Yeah, plenty of range.
I'm going to be very thankful for the extra feet we got to take, and I'm going to do a little Toll the Dead.
All right.
Little cleric spell. Looks like we need a wisdom save.
Wisdom saving throw. It's going to attempt its wisdom save. A 3. It will fail. So go ahead and roll me 1 die 12.
Ooh, a D12. That's nice.
Yes.
As it is already wounded. Ooh, very nice. Anything else for you?
No, that's it.
That's
Level
a
1.
D12 cantrip. That's
You
nice.
see Morn, of course, with Morn's wound on his turn, he's actually going to drop both of his swords and drop one of his swords and reach down and pick up his hand crossbow and go ahead and fire it at the creature. Missing again.
He's still concentrating on picking that lock.
Oh yes, he's. You can see he's not gravely wounded, but very sorely wounded. Kind of nursing that. Reginald, in a very similar predicament. You are up.
If I were to move around it to here, I could pick back up my short sword, yeah?
Yeah.
Would that count as my action to pick it up?
No. You can drawing a weapon, or you have a free object interaction every turn that doesn't take any action. So yes, you can totally pick up your short sword.
Oh boy. Well, I'm not going to try and shoot my bow at it from this range.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to pick up my short sword and try and hit it.
That indeed will strike true.
Okay, so we roll that damage and a D4 for favorite foe. Brings us to 5.
Foe, you see the amorphous blob drop to the ground, and it kind of starts to, fizzle out into a pool as you defeated the creature, taking you out of combat. Forgive me, friends. I was not expecting such a thing. That creature was not here the last time I was here in the basement as the as a lookout for the last time the group came here. And you can see he's kind of pulled back the shoulder piece of his studded leather, and you see a massive bruise on his shoulder. So Reginald, you have taken a bit of damage, as is Morn, and Morn says he does. If anyone gestures for any healing or anything like that, he shakes off his head, and you see him pull a small vial out of his pouch and kind of drinks it down for a potion of healing. You're only pretty close to being maximum.
Okay, and I'll take a second to heal myself, as that hurt.
Understandable.
So it's a D4 plus wisdom, right?
Yep. Plus your wisdom modifier.
So plus 3. So 4 health. I'll take it.
Actually, 4 out of 10. Yeah, 10 out of 12. With the creature defeated, you can easily start you didn't really make too much noise. I believe the only thing that there might have been the sound of a bell, the swinging of a few swords, the one firebolt. So not really too much noise to take the creature out. But you can go ahead and freely look about the basement now that the creature has been vanquished.
Sure. Am I able to recover my arrow from the
You
creature?
recover half of the arrows that you fired. So if you fired twice, I believe, you can
once
get
with the bow.
Okay, so yeah, so it's be half rounded down, so you won't be able to get that one arrow back.
Okay. That's quite all right.
But if you'd like, everyone go ahead and give me investigation checks as you're searching about the room, looking for some sort of list of who's on duty, things like that. And Stink, if you want to give me one as well. Ooh, Stink with a natural 20 to 25 investigation. And Morn is just seems a little bit out of his element. But looking about, you don't find anything that anything that lists the guards on duty or anything of that nature. But you do find out that most of the items in the boxes would pretty much be pretty impossible to sell, as they'd definitely be quickly identified as stolen museum property. But you do notice down here in the southeastern corner over here that boxes in that area contain items from the gemstone wing that were stored to make room for the Murkmire stone gala. Inside those boxes are gemstones, chunks of raw silver ore, all found locally. About 20 pounds worth.
Bag o' holding.
Holds open bag.
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and shovel those in there real quick, it'll be about 150 gold worth of gems and ore.
Okay.
And the only exit other than the doors there and the other door you came in would be the stairs leading up over here to the northeast. Go ahead and give me another group stealth check.
Do we have any inkling where we are under the museum based on being in there?
Yes. You believe if you go back to your map, the rough map that Dr. Danell gave you, you're probably somewhere under the first floor, the northeast corner of the first floor. Because you did scout it out before, you did see where the cargo doors were, the freight doors were, so you definitely have an idea that you'll be coming up. You might be coming up into the break room. If you remember, the guard had went into the break room while you were walking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking up nothing on detect magic.
Not yet. You have not seen anything in detect magic yet.
Okay. I guess lead the way, Stinkfoot.
Me.
You've got the eyes right now.
All right, so let me go ahead and gather everyone up, and I'll go take you down to the other map just below us here, so give me one moment. Well, 20 is a bit slow this evening.
It's still... Oh, there it goes. I'll say I was having double tokens for a second.
Yeah, I just went ahead and copied and pasted them since it's a little slower tonight. Easier to copy and paste them than to actually try to move them across the screen. But yes, you do find yourself in the room. Of course, there are two doors, one to the west, one to the south. In the room itself, you do happen to notice boxes of display supplies are stacked in the room's corners. Chairs surround a circular table in the middle. And as you enter Instinct, you do see an inkling of magic. It is abjuration magic on the door here.
I point that out to the party.
And you do notice there are some stack supplies, display supplies, and such like that in the northwest and southwest corners of the room. And a door again to east, south, and the west.
Will investigation get us more information, or?
Sure.
I'd like to snoop around.
Yeah, I can freely make an investigation check.
Straight.
Stink is definitely on the investigation checks this evening. You have to notice, tucked in some supply boxes in this corner up here, you find a vial with some liquid in it. For those of you that are new again to D&D, generally with potions, when you find a potion, and it is, of course, glowing, you do notice that with your detect magic that is active, that you can either take a little sip, as Otter is doing right now, of the potion to determine, kind of what it is, or make an Arcana check, or you can, of course, use an Identify spell, which is a little bit more than what's needed for a potion. But yeah, sipping the potion, you can easily determine that it is a potion of vitality. When you drink this potion, it removes any exhaustion you are suffering and cures any disease or poison affecting you. And for the next 24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit dice you spent. The potion's crimson liquid regularly pulses with dull light, calling to mind a heartbeat. Also, with this being Adventurers League, if that potion is not used during the session, at the end of the session, everyone will be able to take a potion of vitality. And then if you wanted to give me investigation or perception, Reginald, you can do so as well.
Nice.
21 perception. As you're searching the boxes to the southwest, you find a small, partially open box. Inside are 3 palm-sized pass cards, each stamped with the museum's logo. The scrap of paper inside the box reads in common, "Spare alarm pass cards." Each pass card allows its bearer to bypass the museum's alarms that are set. So, who's going to carry the potion of vitality, and who's going to pass out the pass cards?
I'm going to head over to Stinkfoot and wave the passes and go, "Look what I found."
Lauren's like, "Oh, goodness." What luck. And he kind of holds out his hand.
And I hand one of the 3 to each of the 2 people in the room.
All right.
I will slip the potion of vitality to Reginald if he'll take it. He's
Okay.
Sure.
So Reginald will carry
more
the potion
tanky.
of vitality for now. All right.
I'll put it in the bag of goodies.
There you go. Yeah, keep in mind that right now that bag of holding is still considered a story item at the moment.
Yeah.
So you do have pass keys, of course. Now the cards that you could bypass this locked door over here, which is of course locked from the inside, but they also have the door to the south. And keep in mind, you were mentioning looking for information, and you are aware that the offices are on this side of the museum. So do you want to head out into the main foyer of the museum, the main entrance area, or do you want to perhaps start heading south?
If I remember correctly, Stinkfoot, when you and Snaps were exploring this side of the hall earlier, this room right here should be the break room, right?
This room you're in, yes.
This is the break room, yes.
We're in the break room. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we should be right at the bottom of the stairs.
Very-
We're right next to the shops, and then there's the stairs.
Mhm.
So do you want to go south and check out the offices, or do you want to go... I'm voting south, but not for any good reason.
Well, if we can figure out what we're dealing with, or at least how many guards might be here, that could be advantageous.
All right, I will come down here and hold the badge. Never done this before. I hold the badge out towards the door.
The badges only work for the alarm spells.
And I just found that out. So I will call Mr. Everhate up here.
All right.
Would you mind? Use your D20, not your D6.
That's what I'm here for, he says.
And I will give him some guidance,
Excellent.
as is something I can do.
All right. We will add 2 points to this plus your guidance. So go ahead and give me the die 4 for the guidance, if you would.
I would be happy to. I have a 3.
All right. So we're going to add +5 to this roll. So that gets to a 14. And you hear click as the tumblers of the lock unlock.
Ooh.
And the door is unlocked. And he kind of glances back to the two of you. Kind of wondering, who do you want to go through first?
You go. I'll be right behind you with detect magic.
Okay.
And you should be able to click on the door and open it yourself. Yep.
Yep. Oop. And I'll stick my head in there with my little coin so I can see in front of me.
Sure. Inside that room, you do notice that some sort of records room, filing cabinets standing on all of the different corners of the room itself. As you enter in there, Reginald, give me a perception check, please.
Perception check, I will gladly provide.
Oh my goodness! Great on the perception checks. You do hear the footfalls of a guard outside the door to the west.
Coming towards the door?
Just in the vicinity of the door outside to the west.
Okay. I will quietly gesture back at my companions that I can hear someone through the door and point to the door going out into the hall.
All right, then Morn kind of gestures over to Stink for everyone to kind of remain motionless for a moment. So everyone go ahead and give me another group stealth check. Nice. Oh, beautiful. Yes, everyone remains silent, just not unmoving and quiet for a moment. Barely, hearing. You can barely even hear one another's breathing as you're standing there. And slowly, you do hear, Reginald, with your passive perception, the guards' footfalls start to walk away.
I will gesture a thumbs up back to Morn.
And he kind of wants for you to head on in, yeah.
And I will start looking to see if there's anything of use to us in here while I wait for the rest of them.
All right. So the room contains records about past and current exhibits, as well as the museum's financial records. Also searching about the area, you do find a file containing information about the placement of all of the alarms placed in the building, all of the alarm spells, and where their locations are.
Ooh. I will spread that out on top of one of the tables in here and call over Morn and Stinkfoot and start matching that up to the map we have and marking it.
Okay. So on the map, if you want to open the handout for your map,
yep.
You do know that each one of these are the offices. You can probably easily surmise that the office from the door to the south below you would lead to the curator's office, the elf, Alda, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. There is a alarm on each of the doors on the offices on this side. There is an alarm on the front door. Each of the passageways to all of the displays on the western side of the first floor, the initial passageways that lead over into that section over there is alarmed as well. As is there's an alarm spell cast at the base of the stairs, right in the middle, that heads up to the second floor.
That's not cool.
Okay, and you said each of the entry points for the displays on the west side have alarms?
Correct. Yes. Okay. Just those initial three.
Okay. Does it tell us anything about the second story?
Yes, it does tell you about the second story as well. On the second story, there is an alarm, obviously, on the door heading into the gemstone wing. There's an alarm on the entrance into the cafe. But oddly enough, not on the back hallway that comes out of the cafe that leads to the privies behind the stairwell.
Okay.
And there are no other alarms in the southern display areas as well, down there as well. It seems the only alarm on that floor are to the gemstone wing and to the cafe itself. That are the only alarms on the second floor.
And those
there are
are...
no one to the gemstone wing itself, that door there, and the one to the main entrance to the cafe that leads off of the area with the Allosaur display.
Okay, so they're only guarded from that center area, not from any of the outside ones. Okay.
Correct. And there are no alarms in the attic.
Beautiful.
Or the privies.
Or the privies, correct.
That would be alarming.
So your option, of course, you do know the alarm. The door to the west is alarmed. It does have an alarm spell on it as well. But you do know that the one to the south of you does not.
So the door from the curator's office is not alarmed.
No, it is locked. It's just not alarmed.
Okay.
But everyone, do me a favor. Give me an insight, or we'll say history, or intelligence check. You can make either of any of those three rolls if you wish.
You said history, insight, or intelligence?
Yeah.
Oh,
If you're
boy.
if you're not.
I'm going to go with insight.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and refer inside. That's totally fine, Reginald. That's excellent. But go back through your notes. You might have some notes of some of the conversations that you heard at the gala. Obviously, it's been a week since we've played, but for your characters, this was only a few hours, like maybe an hour or two ago.
Yep, I've got it right here. The curator may have info on the security of the building, so it would be worth getting into their office. As far as things we heard, they were clutching a clutch purse all evening, gripping it with all of their strength. We also noticed that the museum has apparently fallen on hard times. If only they sold all those ore and gem samples they kept in the basement.
Good luck with that.
And lastly, if we want to see some vintage dolls, we could always check out the curator's office.
There's a big one in there. Don't be scared when we pick the lock.
As Reginald pulls out a tiny little notebook that he's scribbled these conversations in. Well,
Are
should we...
you ready for Morn to pick the lock?
I will give him a pat on the shoulder, or well, like middle back. Give him another guidance.
Okay.
I believe in you, buddy.
All right, so go ahead and give me a die 4 for that.
Die 4 on the way. Not as helpful, but it's still a 1.
Hey, very good. That gives him a 23 for the picking the lock. And of course, now the door is unlocked.
Well, I guess I'll go. I'll stick my head in.
When I said last time you first, I was talking to Morn, the rogue, who might have the best sense, but if you want to poke your head through, you can.
If you want him to go first, he will go ahead and head in first. And he does turn around and point to another door that's locked as well.
What?
I'll give him another pat on the back.
He kind of puts his hands up. Maybe
have
something
another
else.
die 4.
There's a doll in there. Don't be scared.
All right, and he's able to pick that lock as well. And he looks back to all of you and kind of gives you an expectant look, as if asking if you're ready.
I'm over his shoulder with the detect magic.
Okay.
Or under his shoulder, I guess.
He will open the door and kind of move into the center of the room. Hold on one moment. We do have Reginald and Stink on the same square. Let me fix those real quick. I'm assuming Reg is coming in behind Morn.
Yep.
There we go. As the two of you enter into the room, you do notice that there is a large doll in the corner of the room here.
Not expecting that.
Since none of you are the curator, Alda, the creature animates. And moves to attack you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative again.
Well,
you do notice that the doll does have is about 5 foot tall, and it's got wearing a vintage dress, and it does have stitched into the dress. It does say Marigold on it.
and Just checking. Does Roll20 already add the hair trigger ability in there for my initiative? It adds proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. I just realized that was in there.
No worries. Let me go ahead and open. It should, but let me go ahead and open your character sheet just to double check to make sure.
Sure. I haven't done anything in Roll20 that modifies your initiative stuff, so I figured I'd ask.
Okay, no worries.
It's not going to help a 5, but figured it was worth asking about.
It does add your proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. Right now, your initiative is only showing 3.17, which the 17 is your dexterity for tiebreakers. So what we'll do is go ahead and open your character sheet. We'll teaching moment, which is great. And then go ahead and click on your gear icon. You know where it says core, bio, and spells, like the first three character sheet pages. And then on your the middle box at the top where it says attribute options.
Yeah, it's the one.
On initiative modifier.
Put
go ahead.
2?
Yep.
Okay, so I can adjust my initiative to be a 7.17.
Yep. Perfect.
Cool. And now I know how to do that. I appreciate it.
No problem. All right, so then we will sort these descending. The first act is stink.
So all three of us are in its range, even though I can't quite... I guess I can see it around the corner. I could see more than half of it. I don't think we're talking our way out of this one, so I'm going to give it a two-handed poke with my quarterstaff.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you do.
Got with that 3 damage. Almost dead. I'll leave it for Reginald to finish off.
All right. It is a fairly tight situation here in the room, so the creature is going to go ahead and swing out at Morn. Missing Morn. Reginald, you are up.
Well, there's not a whole lot I can do in this tight space, but we're going to give it a swing.
Oh, yes, you will. It will definitely hit an AC of 24. We'll definitely hit it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That'll do. And
all right.
I think that's all I got for this turn.
All right. Morn will go ahead and swing with his short sword as well.
Morn, 20.
He misses again. You're starting to think maybe he was a lookout for a reason. You're up.
I'm going to chirp out to Reginald. I'm assuming we don't want fire, bells tolling, or thunderous strikes, and then I swing the quarterstaff again.
Excellent. Good call.
If there's a guard close by, probably not.
No tolling, deading.
AC 17 will hit for 1 bludgeoning. Actually, you're doing two-handed, and yes, it is 1 bludgeoning.
Just
the 1 + 2.
In case we're rolling advantage, it would have counted as a crit. That's what the extra.
Gotcha.
All right, Marigold's going to try to swing at Morn once again. Missing again. And it's anger. It kind of reaches out and takes another claw attack. This time in Reginald's direction. Reginald for 6 damage.
I just healed that.
And then, Reginald, if you would, give me a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw? 15.
Nice. Yes, you are not frightened of the creature as you see its eyes kind of flare up with magical red light coming from it. It is done. Reginald, you are up. It is looking fairly beaten up, however.
I'm gonna hit it. Or try to hit it.
You do hit it, indeed, with a 14.
For another 6.
Excellent. It is barely standing. And it is Morden's turn. He is going to you see his resolve in his face, almost as if he's angry at himself. And he turns with a short sword and just tries to jab it right in the chest. And he actually hits it as its AC is 11. And the creature falls to the ground.
I would applaud, but someone might hear me.
Unmoving, yeah. It's so funny that it actually has an AC of 11, and that's the highest he's rolled so far this evening for you.
Other than picking locks, those rolls have been great. It's the other rolls that have been the issue.
Yeah. So, of course, probably wishing that Snaps was back in the fold with you. But you are able to clear out the room. And looking about the room, you do notice that, yes, indeed, this is the office of Curator Alda.
Can I try and prop the doll back up into whatever corner it was in?
Yeah, it's definitely a bit disheveled, as there are hack marks all throughout it, marks from the couple of short swords and the quarterstaff. But you are able to set it up. It's pretty much going to be noticed that someone was here. But so far, maybe a little bit of blood, but luckily there's no DNA evidence right now. Yes, prop the doll up in the corner.
Finishing that fight, can I kind of hold up a hand to everybody for a second and give a hard listen?
Yes, go ahead.
I want to make sure that we were mostly quiet, but if we did no, everything's fine. We're cool, guys.
Actually, you do slightly hear some other footsteps, but of course, front hall is very, very large. So any footsteps you hear out there are definitely going to be echoing. So you do know that there's a guard or two out there. You do recall that there were two in the entrance when you first came in, but they don't seem to have at least been attracted to the noise you made. As you were, there was no major magics or anything like that cast. It was all quick sword strikes and strikes with the quarterstaff.
Okay. And I hold my hands down, thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
Should we try and find some information in here then?
Yeah. You can start. You start kind of looking through the desk a little bit, rifling through to find any information that you can. And on the desk itself, under some loose paperwork, you do happen to find a copy of the guard's after-hours patrol routes.
Ooh.
On the desk. That is going to enable you to kind of know the routes definitely know the routes, I should say, that the guards are passing through. Can, take some timing and such to move past them as you're trying to make your way up to the second floor. But it is about half past our second hour into the game, so about an hour and a half into the stream. So why don't we go ahead and take our break here in the middle. We will double check to see how things are going with Snaps, to see if he's going to be available to jump in for the second part here. And we'll go ahead and take a restroom break, grab some more beverages, maybe refresh some snacks, and come back here in a little bit. Does that sound all right for you two?
Absolutely.
All right. Viewers, thanks everyone for checking in tonight. We'll going to take a small little intermission, and we'll come back and maybe answer a few questions if anyone has any in chat. We'll try to catch up on what we might have missed as we're playing. So we'll be back here in a little while. Please stick around. All right, welcome everyone back to the stream of the second part of our Keys from the Golden Vault, the first adventure, the Murkmire Malevolence. Just a little recap. After planning the heist, of course, Snaps was nowhere to be found. They weren't really sure what happened. They said that he might have gotten nicked in the bazaar trying to pilfer some items to help with the heist, but no one's really sure what happened. That was at least from their patron that they heard that from at the Troll Skull Manor, where the kind of hideout for the group, and they did bring in a henchman named Morn to help out in Snap's place, and eventually Snaps was able to make his way to the heist. Of course, he already knew that they had planned on, having discovered the secret tunnel, had planned on following their route, and had caught up with the group. And of course, when the group got back together, they all looked to Morn. Morn handed his pass card over to Snaps and said, "I know, I'll go watch the back door." And he left, and he's going to be a lookout, as he has not been very handy in combat. Been great at picking locks, but not very handy in combat at all.
Not at all.
So yes, let's go ahead and we've already placed Morn down there with his token down in the basement, watching the back door. And everyone is back here. We did have some discussions and break about chatting with some people in chat before we pick this back up. We have briefed Snaps on what's happened so far. As a recap for everyone else, if you are just tuning in, the party did plan their heist here at the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History. They were able to enter into the basement where they fought a mimic that kind of surprised them at first. After that, of course, all of them have the magical initiate feat. So each couple of them all pretty much taken healing spells and such. We're able to make it up into the break room. If you watched the last episode, they discovered the break room. And in there, they were able to find 3 passcodes that the guards can use to bypass the alarms on the alarm spells within the museum. Heading south in the next room, they were able to find where all of the alarms are placed. The alarm spells are placed in the museum. And then they went further south, fought an animated doll, and then we're also able to find the exact routes of all of the after hours guards. So the characters are definitely set up with pretty much everything they need, as long as they just are very careful about what they do from here on out. So yeah, do we have any questions? I think we mentioned something about Wretched Cuts, something about the animated doll just coming back and kind of getting filled in.
Yeah, he thought it was a very interesting monster pull. He hasn't seen one of those before.
Gotcha. Actually, I would love to take credit for that, but that is actually written into the adventure. I would love to take credit for that. But actually what it did was it used a scarecrow stat block, which is what the fear happened when Reginald had taken that hit, why he had to make that wisdom saving throw. But of course, before, if you're wondering why Reginald is back up to full hit points, Morn did give him his last potion of healing before he went back to practice, of course, probably down in the basement, fencing around with shadows, trying to practice his swordplay to help out in case you ever need his aid again.
I may be fluffy, but it doesn't do a whole lot to blunt impacts from creatures. That's still a hurt.
So also to kind of help out, for those of you that might know that mimics and scarecrows definitely have a lot more hit points than what they do. Something you can do as a DM if you're to kind of adjust for your party. We do it a lot in Adventures League modules and adventures where they have what's called adjusting the scene. Where you can, there's usually, if you run an Adventures League module, like what are called DDL adventures, or some of the older convention or community created content. Currently, right now, they have the Dungeon Craft program where that allows anyone, as long as they follow the Dungeon Craft rules, to write an Adventures League adventure. They have areas and sections in the adventure called adjusting the scene, and those are suggestions if your party's kind of weak, very weak, strong, normal strong, or very strong. Obviously, that has nothing to do with the actual strength of the party and stuff. That just means the levels of the party and the number of players in the party. So obviously, since we only have 3 characters in the group, because most adventures are written usually for a party of 5. And since we only have 3 characters, it's kind of a weaker party. So what I tend to do is either drop the hit points of the creatures that they're fighting with, or kind of change things around, give the creatures maybe disadvantage in certain situations, maybe not give them all of their attacks, which are a lot of times used as adjusting the encounter in a lot of those Adventures League adventures. That's one of the reasons why when players ask, hey, what type of party do we have? What do I need to balance the party out? What are we missing? I always say play whatever you want to play, and I will adjust it for your party, because your party are the heroes, and we go from there. Do we have any questions in chat before we start back up again? It does not look so at the moment. If you have any questions or comments come up as we're going, fun system. Yeah, it's very flexible, very cool. It's kind of what the DM empowerment of Adventures League and the DM's AL guide. All right, so let's go ahead and start up again. Snaps. We have passcodes. We have the location of all the alarm spells in the building, and obviously Stink, your detect magic has dissipated by now, and you also have the routes of all of the guards. So looking at that map of where the guards are, you do know that there are 2 guards patrolling the inner area of the foyer of the first grand hall that you come into. There's also marked 3 very odd things on the routes for the guards. You discover that the 2 statues that were by the welcome desk when you come in, and the 1 statue that was on the 2nd floor by the stairwell, will animate after close if anyone comes within 5 feet of them. So if you recall, right as you came in the front entrance during the gala, there was the welcome desk. There were 2 statues flanking that about 10 feet away from it. And then as you came up the stairwell to the 2nd floor, near where the Allosaurus statue was, there was also an animated armor that you would have to pass by, or a statue, I should say, that you would have to pass by to get into the back hallway that led around to the cafe. You can obviously go around the stairs to the hallway near the privies to bypass that statue. And I'm not sure art on your handout for the map.
Looking at the map, I can see the 2 statues next to the desk in the front. And then upstairs, there's 4 boxes around the Allosaurus, but I don't know which one of those was the statue.
If you see where the arrow is on the stairs?
Yes.
Right above the Allosaurus? Directly to the west of that, right above the A, kind of you have to pass it to go into that hallway above to make it down to the cafe. There's another statue right up there.
Okay. Good to know.
Right. And Snaps has been, otherwise preoccupied. So what is time? What is the time? How much time has passed? He's kind of not quite sure since he's been inside.
Right now, you had initially the gala closed at 8. So we're going to say it's about 9:30 bells, as the party did go back to the hideout to kind of plan the heist, make their way back, catch a quick carriage ride. Your patron did take care of the carriage rides, and it's about 9:30 or so. So you still have about an hour left, as Dr. Donnell had mentioned, trying to get it by 10:30 if you could, because mentioned it's going to start hatching around then.
Okay, it's 10:30, not midnight. For some reason, I was.
For
had it in midnight.
snaps, real quick, I'm going to shoot you a message so I don't have to re-show you where all the alarms are, but this is a quick jot of where each of the alarm spells are on the first and second floor from those notes.
Okay. Cool. All right. I think that's yeah. Okay.
Oh man, Design Lizard's got me beat. He actually made a graphic.
Look at that. Oh, I see. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Good job. Cool. Cool.
I bought that
Right
chalk
then.
for a reason.
Yep, and yeah, that looks accurate.
Okay. So now that we've got all of these things, do we have a game plan as far as what's their next move?
Yeah,
Have
go
you
ahead.
Sure.
Discuss that.
What information can we glean from the guards' routes for the 2 floors?
You do know that the 2 guards in the main foyer, of course, there's a cinder pillar there. They march in a square, kind of patrol in a square, alternating as they obviously being on opposite sides as they go around the inner foyer. The same thing with the 2 guards that are stationed in the displays over to the west. They walk a similar route as well. Up on the second floor, you know that there are 3 guards inside the room itself that in which the stone / egg is there, and there's also 2 guards in the bottom passageway where you found the south passageway on the second floor, where the stone was that you thought was about the same size as the egg. And then there is 1 guard that also patrols around the cafe and the hall up behind there. The walk goes all the way down to the privies and back into the cafe. And there's 1 guard stationed in the main room with the Allosaurus.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of information. That we've got this, guys. We've got this. No problem. No problem. Says Snaps.
So, which of the doors here on the on the east side of the main hall do you want to exit to try to get up the stairs?
Okay.
Judging by the map, we could
Probably the
maybe
northward?
use the store to provide us some cover and
Mhm.
go up over the banister of the stairs instead of the bottom where that alarm is.
Plus, you do have your card, so you're not going to set off the alarm if something happens. But yeah, you could definitely go over the banister, try to make it up there if you wanted to. Yeah, that would be a really viable way to go.
Yeah,
course,
the counters be cover.
If the till happens to be there, Stink,
Not that I'm offering it because the till is there, but it's a bonus. Some cover is always useful if they're going to be patrolling in a square in this area.
Mm-hmm. So if you want, go ahead then. Go ahead and move your characters back up to the break room.
Sure.
And then if you want to plan out how you want to go from there, you can do so.
No one wants to go near the door.
Who is the quietest amongst us?
Well, not sure. I have a dex of 16, so +3. I have a +3 on my
It's a +5 on your stealth.
+5 on my stealth total. Yes.
Did you take expertise in stealth or no?
I'm proficient. Would you ask? Sorry.
What's this like? Did you take expertise? And oh wait, never mind. I didn't know what you took in expertise. I think it was thieves' tools.
Yeah, yes, I did.
And because you got expertise in two things, I wasn't sure what your second one was.
Yeah, I have to trying to remember what it was now. I have these tools and I've got a disguise kit already, but that would come with my yeah, so it's not listed. I don't have that listed, my expertise
If you
as
go
far
to
as
your if you go to open your character sheet and then go to your settings, you have your core, your bio, your spells, and your settings up in the upper right corner. And on your settings, if you scroll down to, it looks like we have you have expertise investigation in your
investigation.
Thing, so
Okay, yes.
but yeah, keep in mind, as Stink just mentioned, you do have your Spurv Neblin camouflage. So up to 2 times per long rest, you can both take advantage on your stealth. Yeah.
Deep gnome skill. Nice.
Yep. I have soft feet, so I do have a pretty decent stealth score.
Mm-hmm.
I have a +7 at the moment.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
okay. Okay.
Welcome in, Caleb.
So,
Hey, we get to do our first shout out. That works.
It should.
We hope.
Nice.
As I rattle our bot.
Yay, there we go.
nice.
I watched Caleb. He plays some different video games, and Dead by Daylight is one of the ones I like to watch him play, and sometimes join into a few games with him as well.
Cool.
Definitely go give him a follow. So now, once you get into the shop, around the shop area there, and get over the banister, and you make your way up to the second floor, what's your plan of attack there?
Well, judging by the map we found, we could go directly to the vent, but there are guards in the gem exhibit and in the hallway to the side of it.
And we don't have the decoy stone we may want to use.
That's
We go
down in that
straight for the
lower hall
Mm-hmm.
near the underground wonders.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, we might want to get that stone. So maybe somehow maneuver all the way around. You say there is a statue beside the stairwell.
Directly to the side of the stairwell there.
To the side of the stairwell. And
West stairwell, yes.
okay.
Now, real quick, to help out with the viewers that might not know how certain things in combat work, if you obviously you don't want to kill any of the guards, but there's a rule in 5th edition: if you want to knock out an opponent, if you make a melee attack that reduces the creature to 0 hit points, you can choose, instead of killing them, to simply knock them out. So if you get any of these guards in a situation where you kind of have to take them out or something like that, keep in mind you can, of course, knock them out without having to kill them. If that happens, you might just be very sneaky and make your way all the way through.
And correct me if I'm remembering this wrong.
No problem.
There was hidden doors in that second floor pathway. I have them in my notes as doors. I just don't recall where.
There is a secret passage between the main Allosaurus room and the southwest corner that leads into the hall to the south. And there is also two secret passage, actually one secret passage and an actual normal passage that lead from the final room that's in the southeast corner of the second floor, that will lead into the gem vault room itself as well, or the gemstone wing as well.
Okay. So we could try and utilize those doors to get into that hallway and work our way to the gem room, we may need some kind of a distraction if there are multiple guards in the gem room.
Okay.
So I can cantrip Mage Hand a few times, maybe knock some things over here or there. And I do have one first level spell left that could be Silent Image as a distraction.
Okay.
I have to remember that I need my character's intelligence and not mine for these problem-solving moments.
No, I generally say for role-playing purposes, yes, that's cool, but I don't mind players,
Oh yeah.
It does become real big problem with experienced players trying to get them to buy into certain situations because they're that's trapped.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
the dissonance of in-character problem solving versus out-of-character problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
Especially playing like Reginald has a 10 in intelligence, so common level intelligence.
Yeah. So actually, what you can do to help out with some of your planning is you can go ahead and give me an investigation check as you're looking at the map of the guards.
Okay.
I can do that. Sure.
I was wondering if it would be investigation or intelligence. Nice.
You guys got this.
Snaps, you might want to turn your guidance off on that, but yeah, the 23 is still great.
Oh, I thought it is.
There is a situation on the first floor in the main hall where the guards are going to be on opposite corners, one in the north west corner and one in the southeast corner, where you could take an opportunity to move out of the offices into the office of the break room and into the store area to start to try to make your way over onto the stairs going up.
Okay.
There's also... Go ahead.
No, you finish. I'll throw my thought in after.
Okay. There's also examining and investigating the routes the guards take. There's also using the suggestion that Reginald mentioned earlier about the secret passages. There's also a situation in which there's the one guard in the main room with the Allosaurus is kind of making his way towards the privies. And then the other three guards, the one that's in the cafe and the passageways to the south, that one guard is in the hallway north of the cafe, one guard is in the cafe, and one guard is about 10 to 15 feet away from the secret door that actually leads into the southern passages, which would allow you to get back into the back rooms towards the back, the southeast corner of the second floor.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
So if we can time things right, we might be able to do this without interacting with any of the guards, at least outside of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Out of player or out of character comment.
Sure.
My brain is like, hey, Stinkfoot, how about that panel you were messing around with the last time we were here? I wonder what that would do. I don't know, but
there's that thing as well, yeah.
Is mess around and find out would be the nice way to say it.
I would require 2 votes of encouragement from my party, as I'm itching to get my hands on that control panel. But I would not do it unless everyone was on board.
You definitely feel that would definitely be a great distraction for the guards that are in the gemstone wing itself.
Got my vote.
So what I'm hearing is we go grab our bag of sand, and then while the guards are doing their thing and we get away in, we hit buttons and see what happens.
So here's the situation, though, that, to consider. Obviously, Stinkfoot wants to get his hands on those buttons. If he does that, you would probably, to cause the distraction, he would probably not be available unless he gets some creative thinking to try to get back around to your group. Would put Snaps and Reginald being able to get into the gemstone wing, but Stinkfoot would kind of be outside having to deal with that, and then have to either hide, like maybe in the privies, something of that nature, or maybe even using stealth and such like that. You'd have to be close enough to see everything. Remember, we talked about how you have to make Arcana checks and do all that stuff and be up there. So you could be there with Mage Hand and use it, but you still have to be there near it to be able to see it, to actually activate it.
Right.
Burn secure. Button. Who's got the button?
All of the buttons.
Well, I think timing it with those guards is going to be crucial. So I'm all for the chaos that may ensue to help distract with the Allosaurus thing, if that works. But I think timing it to where we can get right past those guards and get that jade stone, the sand, so whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
and then making our way into the room itself to actually procure that is going to be priority. And were you talking about trying to do the Allosaurus afterwards, or?
So get
That's what they were
to
meaning, yes.
the bag of sand, or the rock in the archaeology wing.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are, I believe, 3 guards inside the gem exhibit.
Yes.
Yeah, there are 3 inside the room, so we
to
need
make them come
something
back
to
out.
happen to get them to leave so we can come
Understood.
in
Okay.
do the switch.
I see the reasoning. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
okay.
trying to come up with a good reason to get them out of the room and not dealing with us coming out of the room.
Okay. So
Alright.
Stinkfoot, do you want to go do that and then go hide? Say hide in the privy or somewhere else, and then we'll go in and try to grab it, and then pick you up on the way out.
Everyone,
Right.
give me an insight check. Everyone, give me an
Yeah.
insight check.
I can do
Prepare
Huh?
to be impressed.
What?
that.
With,
Go ahead, continue as you were.
okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
No, you can glance
before
at
we
glance
switch-
at your notes and such like that. You do recall, if you could find a way, once you set it off and the guards come out, if you could find a way to get up to the vent, you could get in with your companions.
I could get in with what?
You can get back into the gym wing with your companions if you can get. You find a way to get up to the vent.
Theoretically, you could also slide into that secret door right there at the bottom, just long enough for the commotion to happen, and then slink out with us.
True.
All right, one more time before we 3, 2, 1 go. What was the vault stance on? Should any of us get caught, they would assist in.
They would find some way to help you to get you out of the trouble.
Okay.
However, that does not mean, of course, you do know that secrecy is of the utmost priority. That does not mean giving yourself up for the mission.
I was wondering that, the old just the decoy ploy. It's a viable option in heists. Sacrifice yourself for the team, be the decoy, make some noise.
Yeah, but they do want you to do your best to not get caught there. Do not give yourself up for a decoy type of situation. Yes.
Okay.
Because
If
the
it
more
happens, they'll deal with it, but they prefer it not to.
the more they have to
Plan
do
F.
it, the more chance that you're going to expose them.
We'll call it Plan F.
Okay.
All right.
So how do you want us to roll to avoid the guards?
All right. So first,
And-
everyone, give me a group stealth check.
Roger that.
Woo!
Nice, Reginald.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't waste inspiration on that.
Or your camouflage, which is good. All right, so yes, you successfully are fairly stealthy as a group, and go ahead. Let's. What is your marching order? Go ahead and put yourselves in order over here by the door.
I guess I'll sneak out first.
And then go ahead and Reginald, give me a perception check. Oh, actually, my apologies. Give me a group perception check. For when you are all ready to make your way out and over into the nice. Ooh, snaps coming through. Everyone go ahead and move over to the area where the shop is. Going up in this area. Perfect. You do see the guards start to move. Oops, sorry, this guard is not that far south. Move up, waiting a little bit more. You do see this guard kind of get over to this area. This guard kind of gets over into this area. And then everyone go ahead and give me a group dexterity acrobatics check to make your way over the banister.
Dexterity or acrobatics, or just acrobatics?
No, dexterity acrobatics check, yeah.
Okay.
Dexterity acrobatics.
No.
Oh, nice. All right. As a group check, that is successful. Everyone is able to get up to the stairs and up to the second floor. Let me go ahead and just take your tokens up there. Give me a second to move you up onto the stairwell. All right. So everyone should find themselves up here now. And the guard itself is starting to make his way. My apologies. He starts down here, kind of hunched down there. You do notice, of course, there are continual flame spells kind of lighting up the interior of the museum, even at nighttime. But the guard that's patrolling this area up here does begin to move, heading to the north. And go ahead and give me another group perception check.
Nice.
Nice.
That'll do.
All right. That will give you a chance to get over to the secret door that Reginald had discovered over here.
I will make a point of gesturing to the statue directly to the side of us to avoid it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, how are we going to avoid it?
So we can come around down to here and then over.
Mm-hmm. And I would give everyone back your inspiration if you had spent it to remember that there was that statue that would animate. Great job, everyone. So you will have to pick that lock, Snaps.
All right.
I pat you on the shoulder, and you can have a D4, and you have a +4.
Nice.
On the guidance? Cool.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here.
It never hurts.
No. Thieves' tools.
Yeah, this should be under all of your stats and your passive perception and your tool proficiencies. Just click on it. It'll give you a query and just click on dexterity.
Okay. I clicked on it twice. I didn't even see it. I was too busy looking over there. All right, cool. Thank you. Awesome.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
23, you're able to easily pick the lock fairly quickly. And you can open that door and move in. Once you move in, Stink, are you going to stay behind? Or are you going to head in with them?
I tap Reginald on the back and I'm like,
Okay. So Stink is going to remain behind to set off the animatronic Allosaurus. Do you have any way to? I believe someone has a message. Yes or no? Cantrip?
yes, I have message.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yes, with your spell book. So you can send a message every once in a while to them to find out when they're ready for you to set off the animatronic Allosaurus. All right, so Snaps, go ahead and put yourself in front of Reginald again. You will have to, both of you, give me a group perception check. Checking down again at the notes for the guards. Sure, Burnskier, if you want to make some suggestions.
Yeah, what do you got for us? And while we're waiting for that,
This should be interesting.
it's probably going to take us longer than a minute to get to that room, so I would offer you a guidance for the road for the Allosaurus, but it will sadly not help you by the time you use it.
But what you can do also, since you're both made your perception check for your group's check, go ahead and Snaps, you can try to pick the lock of this room as the guards are in the position that you want them to be.
Have another 4, just in case.
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh, okay. Awesome. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Look at that.
Nailed it.
27 at first level. So that door is now locked, unlocked and open. And as you kind of step out, you do see the guard over here walking in the, to the west, Snaps. If you step out there, you can see the guard walking to the west. Go ahead, Reginald and Snaps. Actually, you've been fairly stealth. I'm going to go ahead and let you keep your group stealth check. You haven't done anything to break it yet.
Okay, and start heading right on down.
Now, making your way into that area, keep in mind that you do know that in these next two rooms here and here is where you find the chunk of jade, similar in size and weight to the Murkmire stone.
Okay.
And then you also remember that in the archaeological display down here is where those two flawless-looking weapons were.
Yes.
But keep in mind, you do know that you will probably have to get at least this door over here unlocked to have a place to hide when the guard comes back. So
Okay.
go ahead and put yourselves in position down here in these rooms to get the jade stone. At about this time, Stink, I need for you, you do notice that the guard does come back from the privies and starting to walk around these areas here. Where are you going to be hiding?
What is this thing next to me? Like
Well,
shelving?
these are shelving units, yeah, and with displays and things like that. These are statues of different various prehistoric creatures and predators and such like that. Do you want to hide behind this over here? Okay, sure. Go ahead and give me a stealth check. Do you want to use your Sphurfneblin camouflage for this?
I am using my first cast of Sphurfneblin camouflage.
Okay.
You playing along at home, that's that. Advantage on my stealth check. Oh, please, 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 don't sneeze.
I believe in you, buddy.
21! All right. this guard
Guard walks
stays
by like this.
Very
walking
cool.
by, completely oblivious that you're even there. And he's going to start his way back around this way. Back down to Snaps and Reginald. You're right there. The display case in front of you. Of course, the display case is locked, but you can go ahead and attempt to make a Thieves' Tools check on the display if you wish.
3 4s in a row.
Like 4s for guidance like crazy.
Nice. Here we go.
I am here to offer assistance.
Yes.
Ooh, Snaps with a 25, picking the lock. You're able to quickly, with your stealth checks from previous, we only made Stink make one because he had separated from the group, but you're able to easily open the display case and pull the chunk of jade out. You do know that passing by this room here, passing into this room is that secret door that leads into the area with the cleaning supplies. And both of the two of you down south, Reginald and Snaps, give me another perception check, group perception check, please.
Perception check coming up.
Actually, Reginald, before you roll, never mind. Nix that, because before you roll, I was going to allow you to use your passive, because your passive is a 15. So
Okay.
you would definitely hear footsteps coming down the hallway. And you do hear footsteps coming down the hallway behind you before Snaps is going to have a chance to unlock that door. So what would you like to do as you can hear the guard starting to approach?
I am going to pat them quickly on the shoulder and go, we got to get in. We got to go now.
You definitely know, well, what I was meaning is that you
We don't
definitely
have
know
time.
Snap is going to be able to open the door before the guard gets there. So you're going to have to probably find a place to hide or figure something out.
Okay.
Okay.
There's a guard coming. They just got
Go
into
in.
the hallway.
Let's go in the room here. And
Cool.
hide behind something. And I'm going to use my camouflage ability.
Okay. So go ahead, both of you give me a stealth check, please. Keep in mind you do still have your inspiration, Reginald, if you want to use it.
I'm okay.
All right.
Oh.
Nice.
Turning my guidance off there. Okay, so stealth.
13. I'm going to double check. I do not believe the guard's passive perception is a 13. It's probably lower than that. Let me double check real quick. Yes, their passive perception is not a 13. Of course, when PCs make stealth checks, you take their check versus the passive perception of something, unless they're actively searching. This guard doesn't have anything that's made him suspicious so far. However, when he gets into this
Standing
room,
in the corner holding my weapons like a statue.
when he gets into this room, he's going to look about a little bit. Not really looking for anyone in here. It doesn't matter. He doesn't see anything amiss. Did we close the lid? That's exactly what I was rolling for. His perception is horrible. He doesn't even notice that the lid of the display case is still standing open.
Oh, thank you.
Doesn't
Thank you,
even
dumb
know
guard.
with the door. He kind of comes up here, kind of checks the back room, and then starts making his way back down the hallway again.
They were all on high alert for the gala. They all are letting their guard down, and they're all.
Oh, that's awesome.
The second
All
he
right,
walked
so
into
now-
that room, I was just like, we didn't close that case.
Walk
Shit.
into the door.
While Snaps working on the door, you can easily walk by, hit him with guidance, and close the case down if you want.
That is absolutely my plan. If we're going to head up here for Snaps to do that, I'm going to give you a pat on the shoulder. You can have... It's a 2 this time, and I'm going to go lightly close the case.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, with your torn stealth from earlier, you can easily close the case without any problem.
Okay.
so I'm just gonna we're gonna open up the door up here
Mhm.
already. I'll move on up to
the secret door, because
secret door. We haven't got it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but then I misunderstood. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I will open that door.
We're waiting on a message before we breach the second door.
Gotcha. Yes, okay.
So I noticed the guard has stepped away.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
27
getting
on. I can't believe your pick locks is insane tonight, Snaps. Oh my goodness.
Polishing them.
All right, so you both can slip right there. Real quick, however, Snaps, before you enter in there, you do know that in this room there's 2 flawless weapons.
Okay, and if I remember, they were in a case back here on the wall?
They were. Now, keep in mind, this is totally, if you want to move back there to do that, you can.
Okay.
Because I think we were talking about opening that secret door and then trying to get those weapons. And then getting back in there before the guard gets back.
Yes. So, okay, well, and the weapons are in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the wall in there.
No, they
That's
are
how-
in a display. They are in a display case.
Okay.
And you
that's-
did look at it earlier. The lock is jammed, so you would have to cut or break the glass.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a hand axe and a dagger in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Real quick, coming back to you, think about that for a moment. Stink, up here in that room, are you just pretty much staying put?
I'm trying to message Reginald. What's going on? Text me back.
Text me
Text
back.
me back.
What's a text?
Yeah, Reginald, you do get a message from Stink that you can respond to with the whisper as well. Only you can hear his whisper. You can whisper something back to him.
Okay. Are we into the secret area, or are we still outside the door when this happens?
You've unlocked it and discussing what you're going to do about the weapons. If you're going to go for the weapons, or you're going to wait for the guard to come back and go back, pass back on his patrol and try then, or if you're ready to have the distraction from Stink.
I believe first order of business was the egg. What happens after that is part of the chaos, I guess.
Okay.
Answering to Stink, we are in position.
Yep. So go ahead, Reginald and Snaps, put yourselves in this room here. Snaps, go ahead and give me one more Thieves' Tools check with the guidance from Reginald to unlock the door in front of you.
Oh, here's your D4.
Yep.
Nice. A 20 on the check does unlock the door. I'm going to go ahead and unlock it. I'll leave it ready to open when you're ready to open it. And they're in position, Stink.
Yeah, we just wait for a commotion.
Give me a perception check if you would, Stink, just to kind of keep track of the guard in front of you in this room, if you could.
I sure could. I hope. See if I could. Yeah.
19. Nice. Yes, the guard, you wait and you see the guard kind of walking around, and it's a square around the Allosaurus, and it starts making its way up again towards the privies, where it kind of goes back and checks the privies every once in a while. Now is your opportunity.
He has a cup of coffee and a copy of the Waterdeep Gazette. He's going to be a while. To go back out to the panel was here or the front corner?
You're right there. Yep, exactly there.
Okay. Now, can I take a look at this and then step back to here and let my mage hand do it, or do I? It's interactive.
Interactive.
Alrighty. So I will. What did you want? Arcana check.
Yes, it would be an Arcana check. Do you have any tool proficiencies?
Other than being a tool in general, disguise kit and thieves tools.
Okay, so go ahead. Since you do have Thieves' Tools, you will have to kind of overload the magic that kind of powers the controls, but you can use your Thieves' Tools with an Arcana check. So go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Okay, I am going to. I have a +5, but I'd like to use my inspiration
All right, go
because
ahead.
I need to mess around and find out today.
All right.
I'm not looking.
Natural 20.
20. It was an Arcana check, but you can keep the roll, of course, which is the same as your as Arcana. Yeah.
I moved away and clicked the wrong one.
No, you're fine. Yes,
Okay.
it begins to animate and starts to move about. I need for you to do me a favor and tell me where you are going to go.
So I need to get to my friends through the vent, which is over here.
Or don't forget the secret door passage over here as well.
Yeah, but then I have to skirt the guard, right?
If all goes well, hopefully the guard comes running and is not going to be there.
All right, so I guess it worked, right? Why screw with something? I'm gonna hide. I assume I can hide fully behind this case.
You sure can, yes.
I'll wait for the chaos to ensue, and when... how many guards were down there? 1 or 2? I was not paying attention because I wasn't going. Damn it.
I'm not there.
I'm not with you.
Oh, yeah.
Not there.
That's
How many
not there.
Hey, Snaps, how many guards are there?
Okay, now you can respond. However, before you can respond, Reginald and Snaps, the animatronic Allosaurus animates and first of all starts wrecking the room here in the prehistoric predators exhibit. Doing that does cause the doors to the gemstone wing to open. Pulling, I want to move this guard up here near the privies. Back over here. Does pull out the 3 guards from here. And does pull a guard from the cafe area.
Oh, shoot.
Give me a stealth check if you would, Stink, now that you're back behind there. Keep in mind, you do have your Smurf camouflage for one more chance if you want to use it.
What? Get found now or get found later? Let's see. We're gonna burn it. Good old Smurf magic, and we're going to stealth it.
All right. It beats their passive perception of 12.
Oh, Lordy.
And this guard comes in here, and you also notice the guard from the privy area comes down here as well. All right. Reginald and Snaps, you're up.
Okay.
Yeah, did you have a message? Did I hear something?
Yes,
Did you send a
messaged
message?
you. I
Okay.
asked how many guards you had.
I say there is. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mitch. I was
No,
going to
you're
say
fine. Go ahead.
if I'm answering the message, I'd say, yeah, there's one down here in the hallway with us. He's moving back and forth.
All right, and now you have to act. The 2 of you, Reginald and Snap, have to act right now.
Okay.
Go.
Hearing the commotion, I pat on Snap's back. It's time to go.
All right. So you can go ahead and move yourselves. That door should be open. You can move yourselves over here to the pedestal. You do recall that the pedestal is attached to the floor and cannot be moved. You also do know that there is some sort of special lock on as your companion Stink remembers, there was an arcade lock on there. If the stone is removed from the pedestal, it will. If the stone is removed from the pedestal, an arcane lock will activate on all the doors leading to the room, including the secret doors, causing them to lock. To replace the stone with a fake can prevent the trap from triggering. So when you are ready, let me know, Snaps or Reginald, whoever would like to try to attempt it.
Who's got quicker
it is
hands?
Going to be a dexterity sleight of hand check.
pretty good at sleight of hand. I'm 5. Efficient.
As
And I
am
believe
I.
you still you
Oh.
still have inspiration left remaining. Do
I
one of
do.
you?
I do.
Both of us do.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to do it?
If you wanna go for it, I can guide you.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say I don't mind if you do it at all, but if you can guide me, then otherwise I will.
I will
Accept your-
happily offer
Okay.
you a +2 to your roll.
Okay. So
And
sleight of hand,
Are you using your inspiration?
and I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, we even got props. Let's go.
Another natural 20 from Snaps. Just so everyone knows, in 5th edition, a natural 20 does not automatically mean a success on a skill check. However, when your DC is only a 10, yeah, it works. So Snaps, you're able to put the jade back onto, take the jade and the egg and switch them out without the trap going off. Stink, back out there in the predator display. All of these guards, including the ones to the south, come rushing out of the secret door that were in the hallway down below, and the one up in the hallway to the north come rushing as this animatronic Allosaurus begins heading down the stairwell to the entrance area, and all of the guards. Let me double check here. Yes, it does make its way down into the first floor and starting wreaking havoc. All of the guards up here start following it down the stairs.
All right.
All right.
Go ahead. Over to the GM layer for now. Oops, there we go.
Oh, cool.
So Snaps, Reginald, and Stink. The doors are open. The guards have been distracted by the animatronic Allosaurus chasing it downstairs.
And the Allosaurus caused their 2 doors to open.
These
two
doors
doors?
here.
Yes, those doors are open as the
No,
guards
yeah,
came out.
I was planning on ducking down the hidden door, down the southern corridor, and looping back around, but hearing the doors swing open, and obviously I would have seen the guards come out, I will double movement that way.
Okay.
Damn. 10, 15, 20. One day we'll teach people how to use the measurement tool and not have to watch me. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh, you don't have to measure anything. Go ahead and move in there with your companions if you want.
For the fine folks in chat, in Roll20 you have a measurement tool that you can use if you need to quickly determine the distance to a piece of the map or a target. It is your ruler icon here. And you can actually have this visible to everyone on the map, or if you're trying to be sneaky about what you're planning, you can hide what you're measuring from the group. But then you just click on the map and drag it to wherever you're trying to measure to, and it'll give you an exact.
Now, you can hide it from the
That's
group.
the one I know how to use, like straight line of sight.
You can hide it from the group. You can't hide it from the DM.
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
We're in a teaching situation here. I never wanted to let you all know that I knew when you were secretly measuring for the distance for your spells.
Suddenly,
yes, you can-
past interactions in other games make sense.
Let's measure everything when it's not our turn, just to keep him distracted.
You can drop down into the room quickly. I mean, you'll have to do it fast. Easily break the glass and grab the hand axe and the dagger out of there, and make your way over to the stairwell to the attic. Making your way up. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Do we want those weapons? Do we want to take care of that now while we have a second? Just asking the party real quick.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, you have the opportunity to get those right now, but you have to make the split decision.
Okay.
If we're going to do it, we got to do it now because we got to get upstairs.
Okay. I'll go for it.
Okay, you can easily go over there and you don't have to worry about it. Just smash the glass. You can grab both of them out of there and you can make your way over to the stairwell and up into the attic. So let me go ahead and grab it. If you want to, let me go ahead and just pull everyone's tokens over to the attic real quick.
Okay.
There. Drag you up over here. You might see some little bit outside. No worries. This is a fairly large map, so it is a little bit sluggish.
Yep, it's a little bit
right.
laggy right now. Once it actually
You're up here
populates on my side.
Should find yourselves up here.
Yep. For those in the stream, as soon as Roll20 catches up, I will put the scene back up for you all to see.
Excellent. Has it populated up for you?
Yep, we're good.
Excellent. All right, so you are here now in the attic. You have Snaps. You actually were the one that scouted this room out as your companions were kind of down below in the privies. You can take an action to unlock. I believe you actually unlocked them, didn't you?
I did. I unlocked them before.
You had unlocked them last week. So you can easily, everyone give me either a athletics or an acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
As a group check. All right. The three of you working together are able to get yourselves up through the skylight and onto the roof. What is your plan from here?
Do we have a way to lock that window now that we're outside so they don't know we left from there?
On the roof, near the skylight, there are some loose bricks.
Oh.
Of course, you do have 2 sets of thieves' tools with Stink and with Snaps. Obviously, that includes files and things like that you can slide through and try to lock it, relock it from outside if you wish.
Can I cast Mage Hand inside the glass and pull the window closed and lock it?
You certainly can.
Very nice.
That's a fun way to use that.
Yeah. So now that you're on top of the roof of the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History, you have the egg in hand. You do feel that it's very, very warm to the touch, Snaps.
No.
I will offer the bag to put the egg in for now.
All right.
If you don't want to hold it.
I don't want to hold it. This thing's heating up. It's getting hot. Come on, here. Take it. Put it down in there. Let's go. Where are we going? Down the off the side of the roof? Wait, no, we can't do that. Jump to the other side? No, we can't do that. Well, maybe you can, Reginald. Down the fire escape. Oh, wait, we don't.
That was across the streets.
We don't have one. It's on the other side.
I do have rope.
What are we going to do?
If that helps.
We have rope.
I do believe that
grappling hook.
Yes, you did purchase a grappling hook last session as well.
I have a grappling hook. Pull it out, the grappling hook out of my bag, and I secure it. And I say, "Here we go. We can go down the rope.
We gotta
to the alley.
We gotta move quick and get this back to where it needs to be."
All right, so everyone, give me either a strength athletics check or a dexterity acrobatics check with advantage since you have the rope and the grappling hook. Here's the only situation: how are you going to get the grappling hook back down? Or do you want to leave the rope and the grappling hook behind? What is the range of your mage hand?
30 feet. Wait. Why do I answer shit without looking? I mean, stuff. Sorry. Oh, no. Spells.
If we are PG-13, one S word is going to be okay.
I'll mark it off on my character sheet. 30 feet.
30 feet. So there's really not any windows outside. Everyone give me a perception check. I mean, this is going to be fast.
Okay.
Okay, so you're actually. Oh wow, everybody made it great. You do spot an area where Stink could be as you're coming down the wall, where Stink could kind of situate himself to kind of use his mage hand to grab the grappling hook, but you're both going to have to catch him as he drops down.
Okay. I'll try.
Unless
We'll catch
I'm
him.
on a big soft bunny pillow.
Stink, unless you have Featherfall.
Not yet.
All right.
Well,
All right, so both of you are able to get down to the bottom, and then Stink is able to reach up with his mage hand, pull the grappling hook off the side of the building, kind of clambering down beside you on the ground, and then whenever you're ready, Stink, Geronimo, jump.
Nope.
I'm not very strong, but what check
Oh,
would
no,
you
Steve,
like
you-
for me to catch him?
Yeah, Stink, you don't have to make the check. They're the ones that have to make
good.
catch you. You can make either a. Go ahead and both of you. Let's go ahead and use this as a fun little thing for DD. You tell me what skills you would like to use to try to catch your companion.
Use your lockpicks.
Well, my logics.
Just point them
gonna
up
be a
in his
really,
direction
really
as
hard
he's falling.
I was going
That's
to try
what
to
it
do the acrobatics again. Like if he's being acrobatic, I was wanting to use acrobatics, but I don't know if
Okay.
that's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use acrobatics.
I was thinking
Okay.
the same thing to like push him into a roll to break the inertia.
Okay.
It's
Both
like
of
in the
you get-
circus. He's an acrobat. We're going to catch him, and he's going to toss him over. Boom.
Certainly,
All right.
Yeah.
Oof.
Sorry.
I was gonna say I was gonna give you guidance, but we already rolled it, so I'm not worried about it. I am
Okay.
going to
You get
use
yourself.
my inspiration.
And you can give guidance to yourself, keep in mind.
Yep, I think I will do that for a 2, and then I've used my inspiration, so a 19 total.
All right. As a group
There you
check, one of you succeeded out of the two of you. You're able to catch Stinkfoot as he jumps off the ledge and like literally grabbing your robes as Snaps kind of juggles you a little bit, and Reginald's able to kind of move you around, and you literally do fall out of their arms. But because of how Reginald described it, it does put you into a roll, and you're able to roll up onto your feet and start making your way, grabbing the rope and the grappling hook, starting to make your way back out. You can easily make your way over to the around the to the exit from the basement. Grab Morn and make your way through the secret tunnel, back out of the copse of trees, and back to your area of Troll Skull Alley and the Troll Skull Manor to meet up with the doctor, Dr. Danelle.
Now. Cool.
Take the stupid thing. It's hot. It's gonna take it.
Here it is.
At
Here it
this
is.
museum with the Murkmire stone, you're able to safely deliver it to Dr. Danelle. She takes the box made of crystal. As you can see, that she's also repaired all of the cracks in it when she had first explained it to you, and she puts the stone into the box and locks it, and immediately the stone becomes inert. The effects of it, the warmth of it, and such like that immediately stop. Do not worry, my friends. I assure you that the egg is safe in my care for the time being. As I promised, here are your reward. Here's your reward. And she does hand each of you a pouch of 20 gold pieces. Also, keep in mind, in addition to the 20 gold pieces, there was 150 gold pieces worth of stuff that you found down in the basement. So everyone also take an additional 50 gold pieces for a total of 70 gold from the session.
Right.
Also, as the evening passes, you are all able to sit back at the lift spirits there at the manor of Troll Skull Manor. Relaxing Morn, of course, is with you, having picked him up from the basement as you left through the secret tunnel. all having a great time, talking about the exploits, Morn actually laughing with you at his complete ineptitude about his combat as you were fighting, complimenting him perhaps maybe on his Thieves' Tool's ability, but of course, after hearing the exploits of Snap, he's kind of interested. And you and Snaps and just Morn talk a little bit about picking locks and such, and everyone having a grand time. And of course, the next morning, there's news all over the broadsheet, the Waterdeep Wazoo, talking about a massive heist that took place at the Waterdeep Museum of Natural History. No one knows what happened, but a strange stone was taken. But of course, after that, Dr. Donnell is able to prove that she was correct in the fact that it was indeed an egg. And because of your aid, she has been proven that she's not very eccentric. She's actually very well versed in her craft, and is able to reinstate herself as a professor at Waterdeep University. About midday the next, I'll say mid-morning the next day, you do receive a message from one of the torches, one of the messengers that deliver messages throughout Waterdeep, to once again to make your way back to the Sage's Quill, the quiet little plush tavern that caters to the city's academics and intellectuals. And it is your contact, if you recall. I believe it was Mira?
Mira Rahir.
Yes, Mira Rahir. And you make your way back to the Sage's Quill, where you first met Dr. Donnell. And Mira says, my friends. And she's, of course, sitting there reading the daily Waterdeep Wazoo. Looking at the front page, she kind of sets it down and taps it, looking about, and she has a big smile on her face. Well done. Your first mission for the vault seems to be definitely a success. We have a reward ourselves that we would like to give you. And she does explain that she does have many magic items that might aid you in your endeavors in the future. But mechanically, what each one of you may do is take an uncommon magic item from the Dungeon Master's Guide as a reward for completing your adventure. Okay. It's like Goggles of Night that would give Reginald dark vision.
That's honestly the first thing that popped into my head.
So you don't have to decide right now. We'll just make sure that over the next couple of days before next weekend session that you decide what your uncommon magic item is. Of course, it is subject to the DM's approval, but since we are playing Adventurers League, go ahead and select any uncommon magic item in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Keep in mind that guidance will be coming out for this hardcover over the next month, so we might have to retroactively change some stuff around if they put out any guidance about what items you can choose. But right now we're just limited to the Dungeon Master's Guide. They might even open it up to where you can pick an item from Tasha's or from Fizban's or something. So if that happens to open up, we will go ahead and retroactively allow you to change those decisions if it's allowed in the guidance. But for now, just select a uncommon magic item from the Dungeon Master's Guide. And also, in addition to your 70 gold each, the other magic items that you took from the museum, from the case, happen to be, let me pull those out of the journal for you. Is a +1 dagger.
Ooh.
And a +1 hand axe.
Very nice.
And of course, since it is the Adventurers League at the end of the session, which we are at now. Everyone may also Potion of Vitality does. Everyone's allowed to take one of the potions of Vitality. Everyone has a +1 dagger. Everyone has a +1 hand axe. Everyone may select an uncommon magic item from the Dungeon Master's Guide, and also as a reward, Dr. Danelle allows you to keep the bag of holding.
Nice.
Oh, cool. All right.
I will note one thing about Adventurers League. Because you are only tier 1, anything that is not a common magic item, like a moon-touched sword or a cape of billowing, you can have 5 common magic items that you can carry. You can carry 5 consumables, and you can carry 1 uncommon or higher magic item. So you have all of these items in your magic item hoard, but you can only select 1 to bring to the table for each adventure.
So I could bring either the Bag of Holding or the Goggles of Night.
Correct.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay. So who's we just have one bag of holding
No, it does
for the party.
Yeah, at the end it does multiply to where everyone gets a bag of holding.
Okay, we all have that. Okay.
Yes.
All right, awesome.
And on top of that,
Maga Kamara.
everyone may advance to level 2. Gain a level.
Hey.
Yeah.
2.
Unstoppable now.
Awesome. Cool.
Wretched Cuts. Nobody did end up needing to drink the Vitality Potion. Therefore, now that the session is over, each of us have one in our inventory.
All right, so our PCs, our players do have a few decisions to make before we have our second session, or I'm sorry, our third session for the second adventure next week. We'll start part 1 of the next adventure, which is called the Stygian Gambit, and we will start playing that next Sunday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. We will have another player joining us next Sunday. Another player jumping in. We'll have them introduce themselves next week. So we'll have 4 members of our party. And then hopefully, for those of you watching that might be members of our Discord, if you're not, down below, you can click on the About section and drop down to our Discord panel. You can click on that to get an invitation to our community Discord. You can also check our schedule to see when we're streaming. Our next stream is going to be on Tuesday evening for Dungeons and Deliberations. Last week, we started doing a little bit of Roll20 tutorials. We can go ahead and pick up that as well on Tuesday. Plus, if you have any questions about being a Dungeon Master or player or anything about D&D, you can feel free to bring those questions with you. Post them in the chat, and we can talk about those. Kind of like a just chatting section while we're working on Roll20 tutorials information as well. This Wednesday, also, we're going to have our Tavern Talks at the Shifty Board, where we'll be talking with Dantashin a little bit more about his experience for about an hour or so. That'll be, keep in mind, this week we are moving those to 7 p.m. Eastern time instead of 6 p.m. So that will be taking place on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern. And of course, we do have our streams for Around the Campfire on Friday, and of course, Dungeon Delving on Thursday. Both of those at 1 p.m. Eastern as well. And we'll find out next week what decisions our characters have decided to make. I know that our wizard is going to be able to select a school or specialization. Still another level before the ranger and the rogue get to decide what they want to do. And of course, we'll get to find out what uncommon magic items each one of them select from their reward from the Golden Vault. Does anyone have anything to add before we sign off for the night?
That was a whole lot of fun.
That was great. Yeah, I'm glad that Snaps was able to come in and have a little share the fun and get us out of there safely. Help us help everybody out. That was
what were you
good
saying
team
there,
effort.
Design
Awesome.
Lizard? We kind of cut you off at the beginning there.
No, I'm just saying thanks to everyone who's watching for giving us the opportunity to do this.
Oh,
Super appreciate each one of you.
Thank you, viewers.
Yes, thank you all, and thank you to we had a few people subscribe last week with their Prime. We do appreciate that very much. Thank you for the follows, and we look forward to speaking with all of you in the Discord and seeing you all in chat with the coming streams. So with that, we say happy adventuring, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.